We are going to start today's webinar. So here I am Mr. Inaugural from Career College, Assam, India, and one of the conveners of today's webinar. So we are now going to start our session today. So welcome all our respected participants from different parts of the world. So we welcome all of you to this webinar. So we are now going to start our session. So now we are going to start our session with the national anthem of our country, India. So please be silent for a moment. Thank you everyone. So we are now going to start our presentation. So in our screen, we are able to see the name of the organizers. At the middle, there is the poster of our webinar. So at the left side, Career College. At the right side, Madras College. So we are organizing this program. We are organizing this international webinar jointly. And Career College and Madras College, we are organizing this program together. So we welcome all our respected participants who are joining us from various parts of the world. We welcome all the participants. So we are happy to welcome the participants from more than 16 countries. So I noted down participants from 16 countries. Apart from India, participants have joined from Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Kuwait, Mali, Gambia, UAE, Bulgaria, Nigeria, Malawi, Indonesia, and two other countries. I could not trace it because of my inability to read the letters in another language. So we welcome all the participants from who have joined us from different parts of the world. So today's webinar. So here comes in our screen. It is about the title of today's webinar. So topic of today's webinar, it is on need of good health, role of yoga. So topic of today's webinar is need of good health, role of yoga. And that of today, it is 22 August 2020. So the participants, they are able to read the topic of today's webinar. Already we have informed them about the title, Need of Good Health, Yoga. Now we go to the next page. Here in our screen, we can see the image of our respectable inaugurator, Dr. Gopal Nandi sir from Saudi Arabia.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dr. Gopal Nandi sir is a professor in the College of Applied Medical Science in Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz University. It is in Al in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So in our screen, we are able to see our inaugurator of today's webinar. We have invited Dr. Gopal Nandi sir. So after a short while, he will address us. So we shall be able to hear his welcome speech after some time. So now we go to the next screen. So in our screen, we are able to view our honorable resource person whom we have invited today. So Manu Siddhananda sir, who has recently left Indian High Commission in Malawi, in Africa, and therefore we are talking about the former yoga representative of High Commission of India in Malawi. So it is in the month of August that Sri Manu Siddhananda sir, he has left Malawi. So today he will give us his speech. He will give us his knowledge. He will say about the role of yoga. So in our screen, it is about our resource person, the images of Sri Manu Siddhananda sir. Now we go to the next page. So here the screen comes. So here it is about the organizing committee. So in this organizing committee, at the top left, so it is my image. So here I am Mr. Inaugural. My department is English. I am from Career College. Then the image of Mohammed Kazem Ali. He is the principal of Career College. Next, at the middle, our honorable Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma. He is the principal of Madras College. Then at the right top, it is Mr. Jayanta Kalita, HOD of Madras College Education Department. At the down left, Mrs. Swapna Pavnath, Department of MIL, Career College. Then, at the bottom right, Mr. Aruna Setia, who is our technical expert, who is giving us support at every moment. And this is all about our organizing committee. And we are going to now start our session. So now I request Mr. Jayanta Kalita to carry forward the next part of the program. Over to Jayanta Kalita.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, audible.
Okay. Respected Principal Sir, honorable guest, distinguished participants present in this international webinar. from different parts of India as well as abroad. Good evening to all. This is Mr. Jayanta Kolita, SOD, Department of Education, and joint convener of this webinar, international webinar. It is already mentioned our joint convener, Mr. Inkunat, that today's topic is need of good health and role of yoga. It's very important. It is a very vital topic for discussions. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I welcome all of you to this virtual platform to discuss on this vital topic. So as per agenda, now I request Dr. Pradip Kumar Sharma, Principal Masbat College, to deliver his welcome speech. May I request Dr. Pradip Kumar Sharma, sir, Principal Masbat College. So as per agenda, now I request.
Yes. Yes.
About you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome speech.
At the outset,
May I request Dr. Pradip Kumar Sharma, sir, Principal Masbat College.
Yes.
About you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. At the outset,
Dr. Sharma, you are not audible. Can you unmute yourself, please?
okay. Now? Okay. Am I audible
yes,
now?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So again, I start my short lecture. At the first outset, good evening to all. On behalf of organizing committee, at first I welcome to Dr. Nambi sir, Professor of Physical Therapy, Prince Sultan University, Saudi Arabia, who will inaugurate this webinar. And welcome to Sri Manu Siddhanand, former yoga representative at Indiana High Commission in Malawi, Africa. And welcome to all participants different from parts of the different world. Today's topic, need of good health, role of yoga, jointly organized by Department of Education, Masbat College, and Department of English, KBR College. I think we may learn from this webinar that what is a healthy lifestyle, what is it important to stay healthy, how to maintain a good healthy life, what does the body need to be healthy, and such and such. Lastly, I thank to Mr. Jayanta Kolita and Professor Inkunat and Mr. Tazem Ali, Principal KBR College, who will join and co-part us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Pradip Kumar Sharma, sir, Principal Masbat College, for your valuable speech. So now, as per agenda, it is the time of a keynote speech. So now I request Mr. Inkunat, joint convener of this webinar, to carry forward the next part of this agenda.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jayanta Kolita. So perhaps I'm well audible now?
Yes, okay.
Okay. So as per our agenda, next part of the program is about the introduction of our invited inaugurator. So today we have invited Dr. Gopal Nambi sir from Saudi Arabia to inaugurate our international webinar formally. So now, before inviting Dr. Nambi sir, I just want to say a few lines about Dr. Gopal Nambi. So Dr. Gopal Nambi, he is the professor in physical therapy and health rehabilitation. So he is now working in the applied medical science in Prince Sultan bin Abdullah Aziz University, Al Khars, and it is in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Since he is working there since November 2014. Dr. Gopal Nambi, he is actively engaged in research activities as a primary investigator, and also he also promotes research in physiotherapy and rehabilitation science in health sector. He has 20 years of experience in teaching and also in clinical fields. He has more than 60 publications in international journals and editorial board members and reviewer of many international journals. Dr. Nambi is also a lifetime member of 5 professional societies related to a field of physiotherapy and rehabilitation. He is also associated with national and international reputed universities as a visiting professor and also as visiting faculty. Dr. Nambi sir is also an external examiner, exam paper setter, and evaluator, panel member of more than 15 universities. He is also involved in public health awareness and skill development in field of healthcare science. Dr. Gopal Nambi has written a book in the field of physiotherapy, especially for the physiotherapy students. So this is what I want to say, a few lines about Dr. Gopal Nambi sir. And now I request Dr. Nambi sir to present his inaugural speech. So over to Dr. Gopal Nambi sir. So please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure, honor, and privilege to inaugurate the international webinar on need of good health, role of yoga, organized by Department of Education, Masbat College, Assam. We all know that in this COVID-19 pandemic situation, we all are self-isolating and away from the regular physical active work, which may decrease or diminish our general health. So we all know that we are separated and we are sitting in the home idly and we are doing the sedentary lifestyles. So there is a probability of muscle weakness, lack of mobility, and sometimes there is a chances of immobilization. So in this situation, I personally feel that this is the right title that our organizing team has taken, and in the right time for the benefit of and well-being of the most of the individuals who are affected. So let's see what is yoga. The word yoga came from the Sanskrit word yoj, which means to unite or to join. It is the complete control over the different patterns of consciousness in our body. It is the relationship of body, mind, and the spirit. Yoga means it is a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices or disciplines which originated in ancient India. The practice of yoga dates back. So when you see the history of yoga, it started from the pre-Vedic times. We can say it is probably in the Indus Valley civilization around 3000 BC. It was popularized in the West, that means in the Western countries, in 20th century by Swami Vivekananda ji. And we usually celebrate the International Journal of Yoga on 21st June in every year. And if you see the yoga, it is a science that affects not only the self-consciousness, but also affects the subconscious as well. It consists of postures and different type of asanas that strengthen, stretch, and align the body parts. After practicing the asanas with care and awareness, one can condition the body, or one can maintain the tone of the body. It improves the breathing, it improves the blood circulations, it improves the nervous systems, and it improves the problems in the digestion, and it maintains the proper posture, and it also helpful for the immune systems. And it provides good sleep, and the benefits of yoga are many more. And if you see the psychological aspects, it improves the concentration, and it improves the memory, attention, the learning difficulties, and it alters the mood of the person and it overall well-being of the patient, and reduces anxiety and depression. So when you see which type of people are benefit by yoga, means it is suitable for most adults of any age or in any physical condition, because of the non-strenuous nature of the approach to exercise. Even those with physical limitations can find a beneficial roots of yoga. And if you see which group of people are not indicated, that means not suited for yoga, means the yoga exercise are not recommended for children under 14 years of age, because their bodies, nervous and glandular systems are still growing, and the effect of yoga exercise on these systems may interfere with the normal growth. And anyone above 14 years of age can do asanas, all type of asanas. And especially the pregnant women, when you see the pregnant woman, must discontinue the practice after the 3rd month. Women must refrain from the practice during the 4 days of menstruation. And especially people suffering from any heart diseases must be very careful and take up yogic practices only under expert supervision. Generally, these asanas are best learned from a competent teacher. So finally, I would like to conclude, yoga is India's gift to the mankind. It is the secret to live a long, healthy, and peaceful life. I hope attending this webinar would be a great benefit for all the participants to understand the basic knowledge of yoga and its practical applications in good health. I end up with this small introduction and take this opportunity to thank the whole organizing team. Firstly, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Pradeep Sharma, principal of Masbat College, who is the sculptor of human character, a seasoned scholar and navigator of this flagship of knowledge. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Tajay Malisa, principal of KBR College, who enlightens the life of others by exhausting the health and equivalence of patients. And special thanks to Mr. Inkunath, who has contacted me right from the beginning. And thank you so much, sir. And the another convener, Mr. Jayanta Kalita, the convener of this program, who believes to have faith in my ideas and believe in oneself. Last but not the least, I would welcome the resource person, Shri Manu Siddhananda, without whom this program would not have been possible. And also I request you to proceed with the event. Thank you so much, sir. And I wish all the success for this international webinar, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gopal Nambi, sir, for your warm welcome speech for inaugurating our webinar. So on behalf of the organizing committee, on behalf of the 2 colleges, so I offer my heartiest thanks to you for formally inaugurating our international webinar.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you so much.
okay. So I request you, if possible, in spite of your busy schedule, please stay with us if possible.
Yes.
Or
sure.
otherwise, it depends upon you because you always remain busy. We know about it. Still, you could manage your time. You could give our time. So we offer our thanks to you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So now, in our webinar, we invited another dignitary today. So he was Dr. Ritu Kumar Mishra, sir. So he is from United Nations Organization. He is from UNO. So we invited Dr. Ritu Mishra, sir, but he was quite busy because of his busy schedule. He could not give us a word, but still he is present with us. So we are very much happy today that Dr. Mishra, sir, he is with us. So if possible for Dr. Mishra, sir, to give a speech of a few minutes, so I will request him, if possible, or if it is not possible, he can deliver his speech a later time also. So I wanted to know from Dr. Mishra, sir, if it is possible, or otherwise you will address our participants on another time.
Yeah, thank you, Inku, so much. I think, I'm not an expert in this subject, definitely, something which started in 4th, 5th century. So without wasting time, because this topic is very important, particularly during COVID time. And I know Manu, Manu Chidananda for a long time, and he is really expert, and I am sure that all the participants will be benefited from his speech. He's excellent, I am telling you. I mean, he has been doing yoga for Indian High Commission, as well as for so many nationalities in Malawi, in Africa, as well as, different UN bodies like World Bank, IMF. I mean, so I am sure that, will be benefited from his speech. So thank you so much for organizing. I may not be able to continue, but let's see, I mean, how long I can listen. Thank you so much, Kalita and Inku.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for being present with us. So it is our pleasure that Dr. Mishra, sir, who is a very popular and busy person, but still he joined us today. So we request him to stay with us till the end of the program today. So as per our agenda, so our next part is to say about the objective of today's webinar. So now I am going to say a few lines on the objective of today's webinar. So good evening, all our respected participants from different parts of the world. So here I am Mr. Inkunat from KBR College, Assam, India. I am one of the joint conveners of today's international webinar. And now I am going to say a few lines on the objective of today's webinar. The primary objective of organizing today's webinar is to create an essential awareness among the people regarding the need of good health and the role of yogic practice in maintaining a healthy body and a healthy mind. To live a happy life, the foremost thing among all the requirement is indeed a good health. The mental happiness as well as physical happiness is also affected by the condition of our health. Such a healthy state of our body and mind is the keynote of every success in human life. A healthy body always helps us to fight against our disease. As we all know today how humanity is suffering in the recent time from COVID-19 pandemic. Every one of us now realize the need and the significance of being healthy. Of course, the use of coronavirus vaccine in the coming future may relieve mankind from the most pathetic condition of today. Although it is not in use today, but it may come to us. But the need of a good health is always necessary for us. To maintain this good health, we have to practice certain physical activities, and the most popular and the most effective one is the practice of yoga. It is almost known to all that this yogic practice for healthy life, it originated in our country, that is India. And now it has been practiced in almost every corner of the world. The popularity of yoga has increased more in the recent time after the UNO had incepted 21st June as the International Yoga Day. From India, Swami Ramdev has also taught us to maintain good health and to fight against the disease with the practice of yoga. By realizing the significance of yoga in human life, we have organized this webinar, and we hope our discussion as well as the opinion of our resource person will prove beneficial to our participants. So this is something about the objective of organizing today's webinar. So with this short speech, now I request Mr. Jayanto Kolita, co-convener of today's webinar, to carry forward the next part of this program. Over to Jayanto Kolita.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Inkunat, joint convener of this webinar. Respected Principal Sir, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma Sir, Principal Majbat College, Mr. Tajem Ali Sir, Principal KBR College, respected Ritu Mr. Sir, Honorable Chief Guest, keynote speaker, as well as inaugurator of this program, and resource person, and also distinguished participants present in this virtual platform from different parts of India and abroad. So it is a great pleasure for me to introduce and welcome our resource person for this webinar in this evening. He is our most respected Sri Mano Siddhananda, former representative of Yoga in High Commission of India in Malawi, Central Africa. He was deputed by Government of India to promote yoga and India culture. International level in High Commission of India in Malawi. He started his journey of yoga from 2006. He has completed his post-graduation in yoga therapy along with his MBA degree. Sir has joined Kaivalya Dharma Yoga Institute in Lonavala, Maharashtra. This is one of the most oldest schools of yoga in India. Siddhananda Sir has completed his tenure of representative of yoga in High Commission of India, Malawi, in this month of August, and presently he has kept himself busy in teaching yoga in India as well as abroad in virtual mode as well as in physical mode. So for Mano Siddhananda Sir, yoga is a way of life, a mirror to reflect upon himself, a tool to upgrade human well-being. So we are very happy to have such an experienced person as a resource person for this vital topic. So thank you, Siddhananda Sir, for giving us consent to join in us today to discuss on this vital topic. So friends, without further delay, I would like to welcome and invite Sri Mano Siddhananda Sir to start his session, please. may I request Siddhananda sir? Inkunath, can you hear me?
Yes, you are quite audible. Siddhananda sir, perhaps, okay. He has already unmuted. So over to Siddhananda sir. But to the participants, I want to say a few words that this speech of our resource person, Dr. Manu Siddhananda sir, it will go on, it will continue. And if they want to ask any questions, so they can put it at the chat box, just at the later part of his speech. So his speech will begin now, and the participants, they should listen it attentively, and if they have any questions, so they can put it at the chat box at the later time. So over to Honorable.
Thank you. Now I request Sri Manu Siddhananda sir to start his session, please, sir. Over to you, sir.
Namaste, everyone. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clearly.
Yeah. Okay. So once again, namaste, everyone. I'm really overwhelmed by the response, and I first of all, I would like to thank everyone for making this webinar happen. Especially, I've been coordinating with Inkunath sir for this webinar to happen. And also, I would like to take the opportunity to thank Ritu Kumar sir for kind of giving this an opportunity to connect me to this webinar. And once again, thanks a lot for being for everyone for being a part of this webinar. Like as Gopal Nambi sir said, yoga is about, the word yoga comes from the root word yuj, which means to join. So I thank technology for making us to come together in times of such a difficult situation, in this pandemic situation. Thanks to technology that we are all on virtual mode. Once again, to begin with a positive note, it's a yogic culture that we begin with a prayer or a positive invocation. I request everyone to take a seated posture, or wherever you are sitting, just keep your spine erect. Just keep your spine erect, and also ensure that you adopt Namaste Mudra, and just close your eyes. Just close your eyes, just to improve the receptivity of the knowledge which is shared in today's webinar. This helps a lot. It's very important to begin with the positive vibrations. Just close your eyes. Just feel the touch of your palm. Just observe your breath. Keep your shoulders relaxed, facial muscles relaxed. Just focus on deep breaths. Now I'm going to recite a universal prayer. Keep your eyes closed. After reciting, I'll tell the meaning of this positive invocation. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now gently open your eyes and gently rub your palms and place your palms on your eyes. Now gently rub your forehead, rub your cheeks, rub the neck. Now we'll do this one more round. Gently rub your palms and place your hands on the eyes. Rub your forehead, rub your cheeks, rub the neck, and gently bring your hands down. So before we proceed, I would like to just give a brief description of what the prayer meant. The invocation meant that it simply says there must be some connection or receptivity between the teacher and the students. Only then any knowledge is of some importance. So that's why this prayer between the student and the teacher. So now I think this webinar is beautifully titled because of the current pandemic situation, the need of good health, and why the role of yoga in good health. I think it's very timely, kind of, what do you say, it has come in a good time. Everything has come together to make this happen. So what I would like to say is that I believe that the theory and practical are like two wings of a same bird. Do you agree? The theory and practical are two wings of a same bird. So the two wings are required for the bird to fly. In the same way, both theory and practical is required to experience any knowledge, especially yoga. It's being a practical knowledge. It's very important to understand the philosophy and the theory behind all the practices. So I'll be taking you through both the theory and the practical aspects of yoga, and I'll try to bring out the essence of yoga according to the yogic text. See, I know that in this age of technology, in this age of YouTube, social media, there are a lot of information about yoga. So now, the question is how authentic the information is. So I would like to, I'll take the reference of some yogic text to explain what yoga and its important on holistic health. So before we proceed, let's do one small loosening the practices, which will kind of energize the whole system. Okay, it's very important to activate the neck because this is the connection between the head and the other parts of the body. So just get prepared for a small loosening practices. This is like it's called Sukshma Vyayama, or simply put it as the warm-up practices of yoga. So just keep your spine straight. This itself will it will keep your antennas open to receive any knowledge. Just keep your spine straight. Your palms can be down, open. Now gently look up. And now look down. Look up. Look down. Up. down. Now with inhalation, look up. Just feel the stretch of the muscles around your neck. Exhale, down. Press the chin towards the throat. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Now from here, we'll go for one more neck practice, the neck rotation. Okay, now just press the chin towards the throat. Now clockwise rotation of the neck. Clockwise movement of your neck. Just do it in a very relaxed manner. One more round. Continue. Continue as much as you can. Now opposite direction. Now in anti-clockwise, slowly move your head in on anti-clockwise direction. Keep breathing. Do not hold the breath. Keep breathing. Now gently relax. Hope you feel a little alert. Okay, so now one small beautiful thought I would like to share with everyone. It's almost like 12 years back when I started my career. I used to teach in an education institute. They had this very beautiful quote. It's called as, "Let noble thoughts come from every corner of the world." So, especially when you're learning yoga, it's also very important to keep your mind flexible, open. Only then whatever is discussed, it penetrates deep within and becomes your realization. Because in this age of technology and information, there is a lot of information available at the touch of a screen. But it's very, in terms of yogic perspective, it's very important to realize what information we have gathered. So that's the whole purpose of yogic context. The realization part is very important. So now, as Sir was saying, health is wealth. I think you will realize this only when there is some illness which occurs in our life. Only if we fall sick, or if there is any kind of pandemic like this, the humanity suddenly realizes the importance of good health. And especially in this time, it's about the pandemics, the keeping your immune system strong. So I'll give a brief discussion about the overall health perspective from yogic context, and later on we will also do some special techniques for increase your immune system through yogic practices like asanas and meditation and breathing practices. Okay, so now before we proceed with the other discussion, let's understand what yoga is. So sorry, what health is. See, everybody knows what is health, you know. So as the World Health Organization says, health is not a mere absence of disease. It's the physical, mental, social, emotional well-being of a human being. So it's just not a disease-free body. It's about having the holistic perspective which enhances good health. And why yoga? Now coming to why yoga. So yoga is not a first, before we proceed with what yoga is, it's also very important to understand what not yoga is. Because for me, it took almost like a decade, 10 years to understand what not yoga is. Because this subject has a lot of misunderstanding, misconception, wrong notion about this subject. So let's, remove all the weeds before we sow a seed. So first of all, yoga does not belong to any particular country or religion. So why do I say this? India might be a place where yoga originated, but it belongs to humanity. And now yoga is UN declared International Day of Yoga, which means that India has gifted yoga to the whole world. So it does not belong to any particular country. And sometimes due to many of the practices, yoga is kind of what do you call it, as perceived to be some kind of a religious practice. It is absolutely not. It's absolutely not. Even as a yoga protocol, as a yogic practices, we begin a lot of our sessions with a positive invocation. There we tell people from all faiths, people come to practice yoga. We just tell them to close their eyes and they can imagine or they can pray to whomever they feel they are comfortable with. So it does not belong to any custom, tradition, or religious as such. And now one of the biggest myth about yoga is yoga being some form of physical exercise. So as our PM says, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, in his speech at the United Nations, he says that yoga is not a physical exercise. Because whenever we talk about yoga, the first thing which comes to everybody's mind is that yoga is some kind of exercise, it's some kind of posture, it is some kind of exercise which is done. So that's the first impression which people get when we discuss about yoga. So like they say, seeing is believing, because people believe what they see. So there's more to yoga than what meets the eye. So now before we go for what actually yoga is, let's go for the next practice, next loosening practices. I once again request everyone to kind of sit straight. Sit straight and just now let's do some loosening practices for the major joints here. Now just take your hands forward. Just take your hands forward. I think only if you do it, everybody will get the benefit. So this is the other wing of the practice. So now just squeeze your fingers and release. Squeeze, tighten your hands, release, loosen your hands. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Now just take the thumb in and close your fingers on the thumb. Now just wrist movement, wrist up and down. Just be aware of the wrist joint. Now inside out movement. See, these practices are very simple because these practices lubricate all the major joints in the body, and which is a must before we start any other yogic practices. Now, opposite direction. I also request everyone to turn the video on so that I can see you all, and the response which comes from my side will be better, and I can also say any suggestions. I request everyone to turn on the video. Okay, very good. So we'll go for one more round of finger wrist movement. Here, just squeeze your hand and just open and bring your hands close to the shoulder in this way. Yeah, just like a screw, you know. Now forward movement. Oh, nice to see everyone. Okay, slowly take it forward. Now bring it in, forward. Okay, very nice. So we'll go for one more round of loosening practices. Here, what you need to do, and before I proceed, I just want to share that how I happen to be in the path of yoga. I never planned that I will be a yoga teacher. It just happened that I started yoga for my health issues. I was obese. I was around 90 kilos. I think I will just share a picture as well to believe what I am saying. Way back in 2006 and 7, I was obese. Because of that unhealthy lifestyle, I had thyroid issues. So it's then that I started yoga, and now to the fast forward 2020, I weigh around 60 or 62. So that's the beginning point of yoga. But I should not give an impression that it was only about reducing weight. It also helped me to cure my thyroid issues, and also it helped later on with the help of my teachers. I also slightly got rid of my depression issues as well. So it not only gave me a lot of benefit in terms of physical health, it had a great impact on my emotions. It had a great impact on my mental health, and that's how my yoga actually started. And then, like they say, it's not that you choose the subject, sometimes the subject also chooses you. When I went to do my MBA, there I met one of my teachers who also had a great impact on me, and then that's how I also happened to be in the stream of yoga. So now coming to what yoga is. See, before we spoke what not yoga is, there are many things, what not yoga is. Now straight away coming into the topic, what is yoga? See, there are many definitions starting from in Indian tradition, even in Upanishads, even in Bhagavad Gita, there is a mention of yoga. So the word yoga essentially means to join. And to put it very simply, it's a balance between the connection between the body, mind, and the energy or the spirit. You can call it as whichever way you would like to take it. So it's the connection between the body, mind, and the spirit. So that connection, when it synchronizes properly in a very balanced state, it is said that you are in a state of yoga. And what I would call it as, I would call it as a manual for healthy living. Like to give an example, see, whenever you buy any kind of gadget, any new machine, it comes along with user's manual. Do you agree? Yes. So recently I bought a geyser. So the moment you buy anything, it comes along with user's manual. It tells how to use, what not to do, if there is any problem, how to go about it. So it gives all the details. So yoga is like a user's manual for this human system. But unfortunately, what happens is that you're so excited about the gadget that you don't read the user's manual, right? Agreed? That's why there is suffering and there is ill health. And if you read the user's manual, it's very easy to understand how this body functions, how the mind functions, and how the inner dimensions of a human being functions. So are you getting the point? Are we on the same page? I hope. So it's very important to understand how the body works, how the mind works, how the emotion work, how the internal energies work for overall, for holistic health. So as we discussed, yoga is just not getting rid of any disease or something. It's about balancing the body, mind, emotions, and the energy. So it's very important. So from here on, we'll proceed understanding each aspect of our body, mind, emotions, and energy. And here I would like to share one very important thing about yogi and a pioneer in this field from the institute where I come from, Kaivalyadama Yoga Institute. So before I reveal that, let's go for another loosening practices for the shoulder. I kindly request everyone to turn the video on. Just sit straight with your spine, neck, head in one straight line. Okay, now just stretch your hands forward and bring your hands on the shoulder. Now kindly wait for the instructions. Now slowly open your hands out and just stay there. Feel the stretch around the shoulder. Now slowly bring it in. It's just like opening a window. Just open. Now feel the tension around the shoulder and the hands. Just do it in a very relaxed manner. Do it slowly. Bring it close. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring it close. Inhale, feel the sensation around the shoulder. Do it in a very relaxed manner. Please have a smiling face as well. Exhale. Now, let's go for shoulder rotation. Slowly take your hands up. Take it back. Down. Your hands still on the shoulder. Clockwise rotation. See, as I said, yoga theory and practical are like two wings of a same bird. Both are required. So I'll be combining both in this webinar. Now let's go for opposite direction. Just come in this position. Let's take the elbows down and up. In this way, 3 to 4 rounds. Yes, do it as slow as possible. And slowly bring your elbows together and release. Okay. So I was telling about what is the real essence of yoga. As our Prime Minister emphasized that yoga is not a physical exercise. So what is actually yoga? So as I was mentioning about the founder of Kaivalya Dhamma Yoga Institute, in late 60s, when he was in his last stage of life, he called one of his students, one of his very devoted student, and in his deathbed, he says these most important words on yoga. So this I would say is the most important aspect of yoga if you are considering a holistic health. So he calls one of his devoted student and he says that yoga is primarily mental and spiritual health. Physical is secondary. So this goes to show that how much importance should we give to body, mind, and the inner energy. Unfortunately, in this modern world, the opposite has happened. Wherever you see, it's only the physical aspect of yoga which is being promoted. So whenever you are considering holistic health, you should give importance to the mental health, the spiritual health, and of course, very important is the physical health. So now I will take one step at a time to make you understand the connection between the body, mind, and energy. Okay. So let's understand what is the role of physical body in terms of yogic perspective. So it's very simple. So in one of the very great poet says that Sharira Madhyama Kalu Dharma Sadhanam, which means that through the body, through this body, you will achieve the higher stages of life. I would call the body as the passport to the inner journey. The passport to the inner journey. See, whenever you want to travel somewhere, you need some document. Let's say you're traveling abroad. The first thing you require is a passport. So in the same way, to go deep inside, to go to a meditative state of mind, to experience what true happiness is, you need to keep the body as fit as possible. It's like if you have the body, you can use the body as a vehicle to make an inner journey. Hope you are getting the connection and the simplification. So for instance, let me give you an example. Here, can you see this? Okay, let me show this. Can you see this? Can anyone unmute and say what you are able to see here in this picture here? Can anybody can unmute and share?
So here is a pod, sir, and inside the pod there is human image of human body.
Yes. So as you can see, this is a yogic text called Geranda Samhita. So this picture will help you to understand the importance of keeping the body healthy. Okay. So here is a picture of a pot, and it's a earthen pot, and inside that there is a human. It shows the image of a human being. So what this means is that our body is like unbaked earthen pot. Are you getting the point? It's like the unbaked earthen pot. So to make you understand, see, whenever a brick, I hope everybody has seen how a brick is made. You know, when in the process of making a brick, it's very soft, It's very clay kind of texture it is there. Can somebody tell me how it is strengthened? Once you prepare the brick, to make it hard, what is done? And I mean, I want to interact with you all. I don't want to miss, interact with you. Can anybody in the participants, can they unmute and share how it is done? Anyone? Yes.
Participants can unmute themselves and they can reply to our resource.
Yes, yeah.
It is heated.
Yes, round of thank you very much, Yogita Ranaji. So
Thank you, sir.
yeah, so our human body is like an unbaked earthen pot. So once you are done with the shaping the pot, you have to bake it with the fire of yoga. That is what this yogic text says. Once your body is there, you have to bake it with what? With the fire of yoga. So that is what this yoga, this is where the yoga postures comes in picture. What happens is that we take our body for granted. This body, according to the yogic perspective, it has taken millions of years to evolve to get this human form. So it's very important to keep the body fit to its maximum extent. And so this is where the yoga postures comes in picture. And now I would like to give an see, even if somebody wants to consider yoga as a physical exercise, I would like to distinguish between what is yoga posture, yoga asanas or yoga posture, and how it is different from exercise. So this distinction is very important to understand the importance of yoga from the perspective of good health. So what's the major difference between yoga asanas, yoga postures, or physical exercise? The first thing is that yoga has an effect on your endocrine system. Yoga postures, the breathing meditation has the effect on the whole human system. Especially it has an effect on your glands. If the glands is working well, that keeps your overall health good. That is number one. And the second thing is that it has a very relaxing effect on the body and mind. I think you might have heard of sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. So yoga helps to relax body and the mind. So that is number two, because it's very important that yoga is done with a certain, what do you call it, as using the yogic principles, so that it doesn't become like an exercise. Okay. And now the third and another important difference is that when you're practicing yoga asanas, any yogic tools, you do not require any equipments. Unlike any exercise, any sports or anything, for yoga, all you require is your own body, your own breath, your own mind, and your self. So this brings about holistic health. So now let's go for another yogic practices, another loosening practices. I want to keep you alert all the time. So now just keep your spine straight. Keep your spine straight. Now just take your hands and lock it and take it up. I'll just, yeah. Just lock your fingers and take your hands up in this way. Okay. Now just stay there. Feel the stretch and from your fingers till the shoulder. Stretch your hands up as much as possible. Now take deep breaths. Stay in the posture. Now slowly bend towards your right and feel the stretch. Kindly practice. Only then you will feel the benefits. Just stay there, feel the stretch from the waist region. Now come up. Very nice. Now slowly bend towards the left. Stay there, stay there. Inhale, come up. Now slowly unlock, bring your hands in front of the chest, hands parallel to each other. Now slowly unlock, turn the palm out, turn the palm out. Now as you exhale, turn the palm in and bring it onto the chest and collapse the shoulder. Yes. Now inhale, turn the palm out. Exhale. Relax the shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. We'll go for 2 more rounds. Continue. Inhale. Stretch the hand forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the hand on the shoulder and now slowly unlock and release. Okay, now you can be seated or relaxed posture. Just ensure that the spine is erect so that you are always receptive to what is being exchanged. So now, so this is the physical aspect of yoga. So physical aspect is just like a tip of the iceberg. So only if you have the passport, you will get access towards your inner journey. So now we'll go for the next aspect, what is called as the mental health. I think because of this COVID situation, everybody, it's like everybody is in a state of stress. There's a lot of mental health issues which are discussed nowadays like never before. So what is mental health? See, again, we talk a lot about keeping the mind stress-free, keeping the mind relaxed. But what is mind? So it's very important to understand what mind is. This is a very elaborate subject, but I will try to give a glimpses of what a mind is according to the yogic perspective. See, to give an example, it's like software to the hardware, right? You have a body, like you have your muscles, bone, internal organs, sense organs, everything. But for them to function properly, you need the software. The software is nothing but your mental health. So according to yoga, our mind, it is said like that a mind is like a air. In other terms, it's like a monkey. And nowadays, it's our mind, because of the external distraction, it is described like a drunken monkey. It is so flickering. It does not stay in one place. So it is so subtle to understand what this mind is. So yoga is that knowledge through which one can take in charge of the mental health. And this is where practices like pranayama, yoga asanas, meditation comes in picture. And there are many barriers for the practice of yoga. There are many mental barriers. So, like, you know, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is described that there are 9 obstacles. So one of the major obstacle is sanshaya, which means that doubt. So whenever you are practicing, the first thing is that you get an doubt in your mind. Will it really benefit? So that's why it's very important to kind of experience this subject through the practice of yoga. So that's the first barrier. And the next one is called as alasya, means laziness. We know everything. If we do this, we get good health. If we practice yoga, we get good health. But do we really practice it? So this is where the laziness, the physical lethargy overtakes the mind. But through the practices of yoga, we overcome these mental barriers. Okay, and also it is said in one of the oldest yogic texts called as Hatha Yoga Pradipika. It is one of the oldest yogic texts. There they have given the importance of mental health, saying that the practice of Hatha Yoga or the physical exercise should lead to Raja Yoga or the yoga of the mind. So that's the importance of yoga. If we only keep taking charge of the physical health, not giving importance to mental health, then we cannot achieve a balance, what we call it as holistic health. It will only be on the surface. So, and also in this here, I would like to give an introduction to what is called as Ashtanga Yoga, or the 8 limbs of yoga. I think you should 8 limbs of yoga, or Ashtanga yoga, or Patanjali system of yoga is a very systematized way of doing yoga to achieve holistic health, which also leads to ultimate goal of a human being. I think I'm just giving you few clues about the subject. See, it is a 10,000-year-old subject. It is, you know, it may not be practically possible to cover all aspects, but I will give you hint about this subject so that you are thirsty to know more about this subject. So if you are thirsty about the subject, then half of my the job is done. So the 8 limbs of yoga begins with yamas and niyamas, what we have to do, what we do not have to do, like telling truth, non-violence. So there are some 10 practices like this. This helps to calm down your mind. Then comes what is called as asana or yoga postures, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, the yogic breathing, which is being given a lot of emphasis due to the COVID situation. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So these are all the 8 steps of Patanjali's yoga, which leads to holistic health. And also please note that for mental health, there are certain practices in yoga through which you can achieve mental health without restraining your senses. In one of the yogic texts, it is our sense is compared to the horses. You know, in a chariot, the horses, all the horses are going in different direction. So it's very important you take control over the senses to bring about stability in our mental practices of yoga. And see, now in this modern world, there are many types of yoga, because this is a very common question which people ask, that what is the kind of yoga one needs to practice. So before that, I would like to just check, because I want you also to be engaged, I would like to, sir, is it okay to have some 2 or 3 questions that will bring about some synergy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, till now what we have discussed, if you have any doubts till now from physical aspect, the mental aspect, if you have any doubts, please you can share, you can send a message, or to sir can ask the question. Yes, you can take a minute. We still haven't done with the most important part is yet to come. So we have another 15-20 minutes to go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
now the session is open.
Yeah.
So complimentary remarks are coming here.
Oh, the best is yet to come. The climax is yet to come. So please stay tuned. There will be a session on pranayama for immunity booster, and also a session at the end, the meditation part.
Thank you very much, sir, for such a beneficial presentation.
Thank you.
So participants are really benefited.
So
that's why.
Okay.
Okay, sir, continue.
Sir, any question is there? Otherwise, I will proceed with the session.
I'm not able to. I am not able to draw any questions, sir. But I'm trying to catch the question if there is any. Oh yeah. One participant is saying that he has a question. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the question?
The question is still not coming. Just it is mentioned that question is forwarding the question.
Okay.
Sir, the question is that how much we have to rest after completing one practice of yoga, and while going to another one, the gap, the duration that we should stay. So it is the question.
Okay. So the question is, what is the resting period between 2 yoga postures? If I'm right. Yeah. So here I would like to elaborate. In yoga postures, there are 3 categories. The first is known as the cultural postures. The second one is known as relaxative postures. The third one is known as meditative posture. So after cultural posture, you need to rest. So how much rest? So it depends on one posture to another posture. Ideally, you should rest till your breath becomes rested and normal and your heartbeat comes to normal. So you have to do a cultural posture, do a relaxative posture like Shavasana or Makarasana, and proceed with the next posture. This gives maximum benefit. And if this resting period is not there, then the benefit of yoga or yoga posture will not be derived. So this has to be, it's a good question. This has to be kept in the mind before you proceed from one yoga posture to the other yoga posture. And finally, let me also give one more information. After the cultural posture, relaxative posture should lead to meditative posture. That is the purpose of yoga posture, that these cultural postures, relaxative posture should lead to meditative posture. So that's the deeper aspect of yoga postures and yoga.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question I could follow. It is about what should be the first one of yoga that one should begin in the morning time.
Okay, so yeah, it's just like how we started. Any yoga session, it starts with a sankalpa or a positive note or resolution. So you do what do you call it as invocation to become available to positive energy. Then you begin with loosening practices. Then we proceed for Surya Namaskara, yoga postures, breathing, meditation, relaxation, and closing invocation. So the best sequence is to follow Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga. Yeah, and it depends on person to person and need to need basis. Yeah, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. My pleasure. Sir, can we continue with the session? Then I will take the question in the end.
Okay, sir. It will be better, sir.
Yeah. So now without taking
should we do the set box now?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, we are stopping the set box now because it creates a problem at the screen.
Okay.
So we shall again open it.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. So from physical health, we have discussed about what is mental health. So now going close to our the main part, that in this current situation of pandemic, it's very important to keep the immune system strong, and for that the pranayama or the yogic breathing is very important. So now let's, without taking much of your time, let's go for the practical aspect of pranayama. Pranayama is just not breathing. There's a deeper meaning to it. The breathing practices should be done consciously and slowly and deeply. Okay. Now let's do some breathing practices which are very simple. Keep your spine straight. Just take the right thumb and close it. Close the right nostril with the right thumb. And inhale through the left nostril, exhale through the left nostril. Close the right thumb with the right nostril with the right thumb. Inhale through the left, only through the left. Inhale through the left, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, exhale through the left. Inhale, exhale. Do it as slow as possible. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now, slowly, let's do it on the other side. I'm just giving you clues about the practical aspects because it's very important to also understand who should not do a particular practice. Otherwise, it will be like hitting where it hurts. There are few yogic practices one should not do. Otherwise, you will cause only harm instead of you getting benefit. So I am only showing what can be done online considering the number of people and what are the practices which are safe. Now press your left nostril with the left thumb. Don't press too hard, just a gentle press. Now breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in as slow as possible. Breathe out. Now gently release. In yogic perspective, it is said that the quality of our life and the quality of our mind depends on the length of the breath. The more your breath is deep, long and relaxed, the more the mind and emotions are also stable. Okay, now let's go for one more practice. It's a very relaxing practice, especially for stress and to increase your immune health. Okay, this is known as Brahmari or the humming bee pranayama. In this, you just take a deep breath, and when we exhale, we make a humming sound like a bee. Okay, like how a bee makes sound. In that way, we make a sound. Okay, just close your mouth. Take a deep inhalation. We will do a simple one. Inhale. Now, as you exhale, eyes can be open or closed. 3 more rounds. Inhale. Two more rounds. Inhale. Feel the vibration. Let's do for 2 more rounds. Inhale. Now just keep your eyes closed. Just keep your eyes closed. Place your right palm on the chest, left palm on the abdomen, and with your eyes closed, take deep breaths. For some meditation, I'll put some music. Please stay online. Okay, now slowly you may open your eyes, bring your hands down. So from here on, going by the 8 limbs of yoga, after pranayama comes the last but one, the 7th limb of yoga, what is called as dhyana or meditation. There is a lot of explanation for meditation, but I would simply say that it's bringing all your focus to a certain point. See, meditation is like antivirus to the mind. See, you have a hardware called body, you have a software called mind. So whenever there is a software, there is always attack of virus in terms of stress, anxiety, depression. So meditation is a kind of antivirus for your mind. So now let's do a very simple meditation practice. Meditation is mentioned in all faiths. In all faiths, meditation is mentioned, and yoga connects this, and it gives an overall benefit to body, mind, and your spirit. See, the whole goal of yoga on a spiritual level is that one needs to transcend, go beyond the body and the mind. So that's the ultimate goal of every human being. So this is on a higher level, and there is a beautiful saying, we are not human beings with spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings with human experience. So this is the whole puzzle a human being should solve themselves, and the solution is yoga. So as I said, it's a very deep subject. I'm not going into technicalities. So now straight away, let's go for meditation. What you need to do is that just keep your spine, neck, head erect. And to cut off your sensory action, just close your eyes, sit straight, and just follow the instructions. Sit straight, place your hands on the lap down, eyes closed. Just focus on your breath. Eyes closed. Now just stay there. Observe your breath. Just bring your wandering mind and observe the breath. Now just observe only the inhalation. Just observing the breath entering the body. Now observe the exhalation. Now once again observe the breath for another 1 or 2 minutes. Just observe the breath. Eyes closed. Just observe the breath. Now just stay there. Simply watch your breath. Beyond your body and the mind, just feel the energy within you. Just stay there, wait for further instructions. Just observe your breath and the nature of your mind. Now, very gently, bring both your hands in front of the chest. Let your eyes be closed. Now, whatever you want to achieve in your life for holistic health, just take that sentence and just imagine that you have achieved it. Good health, stress-free mind, a mind which is peaceful, calm, and access to our inner dimensions. Now let's conclude. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently rub your palms. Place the hands on your eyes. Rub your forehead, rub your cheeks, rub the neck, and gently bring your hands down. So let me just, before we take up the questions, let me just tell you what the three Shantis means. See, in this world, there are three sufferings. Through yoga, we can get rid of all these sufferings. So that is what it means. Whatever suffering, even this corona, this comes under this category. So whatever suffering which is there in this world, physical, mental, created by nature, whatever it is these three suffering. And at the end, we are praying that there will be to get rid of all these three suffering and find eternal happiness, which is the very goal of yoga. So usually before I take up questions, the most frequently asked question is that what kind of yoga should I practice? People ask what style, whom should we follow? What, how do we know that we are following a right kind of yoga? I have simplified as A, B, C. See, any yoga in this world you do, traditional, modern, whatever it is, it should help you to achieve three things. One is attitude. It should bring about a change in our mental attitude, the software, or what I call it as the R&D, the research and development. In yoga, we call it as swadhyaya, self-introspection. How is my life? How did today go? Where am I going? This kind of a thing. Second one is behavior. After attitude change, there is behavior. It should reflect on our personality. And the third is, like Swami Vivekananda says, the character should be formed by following that form of yoga. Of course, health is a kind of a byproduct if you practice yoga. It is a given thing. It is taken for granted that health is achieved through yoga. So ABC is attitude, behavior, character. Any yoga which helps you to gain these three things is good yoga. And to come to more technical, any yoga which helps to bring overall health for your all system of the body, and it should bring lightness, and it should increase your lung capacity, it should reduce the stress, and more than anything, it should lead to the ultimate goal of a human being, what we call it as self-realization, samadhi, nirvana. You may call it different. You know, these topics and all are very deep subjects, but very misunderstood subject. So all these practices should lead to the ultimate goal of yoga. Hello. Sorry, there was some power issues. Can we go for questions?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, there's a question in the YouTube. I have just collected from YouTube. I'd like to put forward to you.
Okay.
The question is asked by Dr. Ajoy Sukla.
Okay.
What is the difference between yoga and meditation?
Okay, it's a good question. See, yoga is a final destination. Yoga is a final destination, and yoga posture is a means, vehicle to take you to that final destination. So exercise or yoga posture is one aspect of 8 limbs of yoga. If you go through, please go through 8 limbs of yoga. In that, only one limb called as asana is part of 8 limbs of yoga. So usually when you utter the word yoga, people think it is postures. Yoga is the final destination, and yoga postures, the breathing, meditation is a means to take you to that final destination. This should be the, what do you call it as, the final goal. We should always begin with the end in the mind. In this modern yoga, usually people begin for some health reasons, but they forget the most important goal. So if health is there, it will help you to achieve the final goal. Hope I have made clear. Please refer Ashtanga Yoga or 8 limbs of yoga to get more clarity on this aspect.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Next, another question in the YouTube. Which is the most effective yoga practice for reducing weight? This question is asked by Sonal Karla.
Okay, for reducing weight, you know, in my experience says that for reducing weight, you have to wait. On a lighter note, I'm telling. But for reducing weight, it should be a combination of dynamic yoga. You can do Surya Namaskara, fast-paced Surya Namaskara. You can also do dynamic yoga called Ashtanga Vinyasa, where we move from one posture to other posture in quick sessions. And we hold a posture with more of standing postures to reduce weight, to burn the more calories. And in my experience, weight loss should be combined with healthy lifestyle and good diet. That's very important, because everything should, all ingredients should come together for holistic weight loss. It should not be a one-sided approach. You should combine postures, breathing, meditation, lifestyle, diet, your perspective of life, all should come together. Then health, weight loss will be a natural outcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Another question asked by Sima Sultana. She asked, why we rub the forehead and face?
Very good question. Very good question. Why a good question is that in Indian tradition, maybe I don't know where in many parts of the world also it is done. In Indian tradition, as soon as you get up, the first thing what you do is that you rub your palms and you put it on your face. The reason behind that is that When you are sleeping, it is said in yogic perspective, all the energies meet in your fingertips and in your hands. So all the energy is transferred back again to the body, and in this way you will also quickly energize the body. You know, there is from tamasic, from lethargic state, you will come to sattvic state, a neutral state. So that's one of the reasons. There are many reasons. This is one of the reasons. It's like starting up the engine to move fast quickly. Yes. I'll try to answer as short as possible. Yeah.
Thank you, Jayanta Kalita. Do you have any question, or should I present a question? Actually, I could catch a question.
Okay.
So
you may continue.
Question is which pranayam will be the best one during this time of COVID-19 pandemic?
Okay, to give a very generic answer, one which creates hyperventilation, like Bhastrika or dog breathing, tiger breathing, or what is called as Simmakriya, roaring like a lion, which creates hyperventilation, and all yoga postures which open up your lung to enhance deep breathing, and most of the pranayamas are good to boost the immunity. The audience can also pose their question.
Ornab Satya, please allow the participants to unmute themselves so that they can put their questions directly.
Okay, it will be better.
Question? Sir, I can ask question?
Yes, please.
Sir, what is the best yoga for the children?
Okay. For children, the best yoga is what I call it as, we usually conduct yoga for children where we make yoga according to their age and their requirement. We usually do a lot of postures, and we usually combine games along with yoga postures. So yogic practices which are suitable for that age category can be practiced, but few higher deep practices of yoga may not be suitable, but few yoga postures, because their body are naturally flexible, so those things can be started at an early age. As one grows, then they can do the higher practices of yoga. Good question. Any more questions?
Can now ask questions directly.
Yes, sir. Am I audible? I thought I lost the...
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So now we have allowed the participants to unmute themselves and they can ask you directly.
Oh, okay.
This time the participants can ask. So we request the participants to, when one participant is putting questions, so others should keep themselves mute.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Sir, how yoga help and works to reduce the mental depression.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is highly mentally depressed, how
Mm-hmm.
yoga can help this?
Okay. No, it's a right question in this current situation. What happens is that, so this is where the practices like hello, yeah, this is where the practices like pranayama comes in picture. So it is said that the deep breathing has an impact on the how we feel.
Yeah.
And apart from that, it is also, in my experience, it's very important to share your emotions, to share your thoughts with someone who you really trust as a guide or a guru or a mentor or a friend.
Okay.
And also the philosophical aspects of yoga helps to come out of, because see, actually by nature we are eternally happy. By nature, by default, we are eternally happy, but because there are many layers which disconnects us from that, we feel depressed, lonely, we sometimes experience stress. But for sure, with all these practices, one can slowly, as I said, it's not quick fix solution. With practice, one slowly finds a mental peace and blissfulness in the journey of yoga.
Is meditation helps in this case?
Yes, very much, very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for my answer.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So my question is, like, how important is the sattvic bhojan along with doing yoga?
Okay, about sattvic food, see, our body has three natures: rajasic, tamasic, sattvic. If we really want holistic health, it's better to have sattvic foods. So what is sattvic food is a different topic altogether, but for now identify what is sattvic food, because it is said that what you are what you eat. If you eat the food which is sattvic, you develop a very sattvic nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so to give an example, if you look at the wild animals, basically because of the food, the kind of pattern, they have a very aggressive nature.
Yeah.
So food definitely, in our home and all, we are told not to eat too much of pickle because you will get angry. So that's why in yogic, see, it's not that you should completely avoid everything or something like that, but something which has an impact on your mind, that kind of a positive sattvic nature, that kind of a food one should have.
All right, sir. Means eating right is important.
Eating rice is very important. In fact, in one of the yogic texts, it is said that without improper diet, your yogic practices will not be fruitful.
Yeah.
So by I mean, it has to be good diet goes along with other yogic practices.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I can ask one more question.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, I can ask question.
Yes.
Sir, so for growing the height, what yoga we can do?
There are practices, standing practices like Tadasana and forward bending postures, and also back bending postures, and also physical activities like swimming and trekking. These kind of activities also helps.
Sir, Tadasana work for this?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is from Karnataka.
Okay.
In fact, I'm practicing yogasana actually,
Okay.
but due to some reasons, I stopped.
Okay.
I'm just 57 years old.
Okay.
And thing is like, is this yoga is self penalization?
Self?
Penalization, like self penalty.
Self penalty. I wouldn't say that because in yoga there is a concept called ahimsa.
Yes.
No yogic practices should harm us. Because to get this human form itself is a biggest a boon that humanity has.
Yeah.
So definitely it's not see, whenever there are the obstacles in life comes, we think about why is happening to us and those things, you know. This is where the theory of karma comes in picture.
Correct.
So there is every answer for every human being's problem. So whenever there is suffering comes, the answer is there in the philosophical aspects of yoga. We have to reap what we have sown.
Sir, I would like to elaborate. I would like to elaborate.
Yeah.
Because yoga is the mantra, in fact. So everyone has to imbibe yoga culture.
Yes.
So why I'm saying penalization, in fact, most of the people, if they adopt yoga in their culture, everyday culture,
yes,
I think this will be a miraculous.
Yes, I mean, this is what the government of India is trying to do by celebrating International Day of Yoga and sending teachers to different parts of the world to spread this knowledge. And let me also say that yoga is used as a soft power to connect all the countries and bring harmony in the humanity.
Yeah.
So thank you for the question, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
I have one more question.
Hello.
Can we give chance to others? Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Manu sir.
Yes.
Can I proceed my question?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
First of all, good evening.
Good evening. Very good evening.
Actually, I want to know about the Ashtanga Yoga.
Okay.
How can, in the modern time pandemic COVID-19, the students can escape themselves using the Ashtanga Yoga from the anxiety and depression?
Okay. Sir, I would say that this is a right opportunity to practice Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga. See, like they say, home is the first school. So now everyone has got an opportunity to stay in home. So yoga should start from here. It's not as easy as I am just telling, but we have to make a conscious effort to bring that change. If you are practicing, definitely one can find changes within themselves. And I will also try to, I would like to put like this, there is a lot of information, but with yoga, it should bring transformation in our personality. So try practice, because yoga is about what we practice as a human being. We are not trying to tell anyone or something, like we are not trying to change the world around us. By changing ourselves, that will reflect what we truly are. It's like a mirror. So Ashtanga Yoga is one of the very safest way and a holistic way of practicing yoga.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
We have some time limitations. We are really, you have already addressed so many questions asked by the participants. But due to time limitations, we cannot continue this question and answer sessions more. We are very sorry for that. We apologize for that. The participants, due to time limitations, we cannot continue. Thank you for your participation. And now I request Mr. Inkunat to proceed for the next part of the agenda.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jayanto Kolita. I also express my sorrows or sadness that we could not continue the question and answer session for long hours because of certain duration, and our resource person, he is so long giving his answers and he is giving his speech. So that is why now we feel sorry for the participants that they are not able to catch your question so directly. So now I request the participants to mute themselves and to stay with us. So now as per our agenda, so next part is vote of thanks. So vote of thanks, it is a part of our webinar. So already we have come to the almost ending part of this webinar. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I offer my vote of thanks to our inaugurator, Dr. Gopal Nambi sir, who in spite of his busy schedule, in spite of his busy, in spite of his so much busy, he gave our time and he inaugurated our program. So I'm grateful to him. And then I offer my vote of thanks to Sri Monu Siddhananda sir, who is still with us, who gave his valuable speech. So the program, it has come out to be an amazing one. It is because of his theoretical class as well as practical class. All the participants, they have joined with him and they have followed his instructions. So in a way, the program has become a lively one. It is mainly for his way of addressing the participants. So I offer my thanks to Sri Monu Siddhananda sir. Then I offer my heartiest thanks to Dr. Ritu Mishra sir, who also kept our invitation in spite of his busy schedule. So he joined us. So I offer my vote of thanks to him also. Then I offer my vote of thanks to Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sharma sir, principal of Masbat College, who offered his welcome speech at the beginning hour of our session, stayed with us till now. So I offer my vote of thanks to Madam Roslyn from Saudi Arabia, who helped me in making contact with Dr. Gopal Nambi sir. So I am quite grateful to her also. And then I offer my vote of thanks to Muhammad Tazem Ali sir, principal of Kabir College, for his support in organizing this program. And then I offer my vote of thanks to Mr. Arunam Setia, our technical expert, for whose continuous support and help I could or we could organize this program. And I also offer my vote of thanks to our junior technical expert, Mr. Polazutinath, who also is helping us continuously. And so like we also offer our vote of thanks to all the organizing members, so who or for whose help the program has come to this level. So the ultimate vote of thanks that I offer to all the respectable participants from India and also from abroad. So already I announced at the very beginning that in our program today we have participants from more than 16 countries. So at that time I read out the list. So I again repeated that we are grateful to all those participants who joined us from different parts of the world. And so here I want to mention one thing, that already we have posted a feedback link So we shall try to give certificates to those participants, respectable participants who filled their feedback form. So, but they will have to wait for at least 15 to 20 days because of so many participants that we require time. So we request them to cooperate us. So in a way, now I offer my vote of thanks to Mr. Jayanta Kalita, co-convener of this webinar. So it is for his continuous support and help that made it easy to organize this international webinar. So I may forget to mention the name of other people also, but in a way, I collectively offer my vote of thanks to all those persons for the support of whom this program would come to a successful one. And along with it, I want to mention one thing is that I want to thank Dr. Ritu Kumar Mishra. It is for his information that I could reach Dr. Manu Sidananda from Malawi. At that time, he was in Malawi, so I could make contact with him. And now I request Mr. Jayanta Kolita to carry forward the program. So here I am Mr. Inkunat from KBR College. So I offer my vote of thanks and I complete this agenda. So over to Jayanta Kolita now.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Inkunat.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
So, Mr. Jayanta Kolita, before concluding, I want to mention one thing that our resource person, he has not completed his concluding speech. So, you please request him for the concluding speech after your speech.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Inkunat. Good evening to all. Respected principals of both the colleges, honorable chief guest, invited guest, resource person, and all the esteemed participants joining from different parts of the globe. At the outset, on behalf of the Masbat College fraternity, I would like to take this opportunity to convey my heartfelt thanks to those who have directly and indirectly contributed to this webinar. And I offer my gratitude to Dr. Pradip Kumar Sharma sir, Principal Masbat College, and Mr. Tazem Ali sir, Principal KBR College, for giving us permission to arrange this webinar and for your enthusiastic support. And it is our pleasure to host all about 5,000 esteemed participants and dignitaries of international webinar join across the globe and interact on the topic. So only because of your participation, this webinar became a grand success. Thank you all for your participation and cooperation. And next, I would like to offer my sincere gratitude to Dr. Gopal Nambi sir from Saudi Arabia. Sir, we are really grateful to you that in spite of your busy schedule, you accepted our invitation and enlighten us with your valuable speech and inaugurate the session. Thank you, sir. Next, I am thankful to all. I'd like to show my gratitude and genuine heartfelt gratitude to Sri Mano Sidananda sir for kindly accepting our invitation and sharing your experiences and wisdom with us with demonstration, and also giving several clues to maintain a good health. Sir, we are really enlightened and acquired a deep knowledge on this vital topic, and believe that all the participants have benefited a lot. And next, I sincerely thank Dr. Ritu Kumar Mishra sir from United Nations Organization for kindly accepting our invitation and encourage us with your gracious presence in this webinar. And I also take this opportunity to thank Mr. Ornav Setia from Dibrugarh University, who have been sincerely controlling the technical side till now. Thank you, Ornav. And I am very much thankful to all the faculty members of both the colleges who have been doing a lot to make this webinar a grand success. And at last, not least, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to Mr. Inkunat, joint convener of this webinar, for his continuous effort to make this webinar a grand success. So with these warm words, I would like to conclude the vote of thanks part. And before concluding the ending the session or the webinar, I'd like to request our today's resource person to put your concluding remarks, sir. Please, over to you.
Namaste once again, everyone. I'm so overwhelmed by the response. I don't know from where to start, but I would like to thank everyone for making this webinar happen, and also all the viewers who have taken their precious time. This goes to show that how concerned you are about your health. Your presence itself shows that you are so much concerned about your health. That's the first step you have taken. And as I believe that I was in Malawi, there's a very famous saying that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go together, go slow. So I think this has been beautifully brought out by the teamwork which has happened between all the colleges, organizing committee, the technical team, and the participants. And I believe that whatever event we do, there are factors like nature has to be with us, the technology has to be with us, the people has to support, and also by the grace of the Almighty, everything has come together and it has gone well. Once again, I really wish and thank everyone for the participation, the effort and the energy which has gone to make this happen. And lastly, I would like to conclude that they say that knowledge, what we know is a drop, unknown is ocean. So whatever I have shared is only a drop. So I've just given you a clue about this subject for you to get curious about this subject. See, anybody can take the horse till the water. So I hope I've taken till the water by creating curiosity. And I think if there is any, I know that a lot of people want to ask more questions. Sure, I think the team can arrange for question and answers. I can answer through WhatsApp or any channel available. So most important thing is that keep continuing. Yoga is existing because it works. So keep continuing the practice, then you will find how beneficial it is. So on that note, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, let everyone be happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
So it was because of limitation of time, sir, we could not carry out. Yeah, we could not continue the question and answer session for a long time.
No problem. Yeah.
But we hope your resourceful speech, it was quite beneficial for our participants. Of course, we have been organizing so many webinars, national and international webinars on different topics where our respected participants have already responded in the most positive manner. But today, I hope this webinar was somewhat different, because it was quite relevant to the situation of the present time, where people are suffering and people have become quite helpless. They are not finding any way what to do or what they should do. Medicines are also not coming to the market, and so people are in a way in the most helpless condition. So in this position, if they are at least benefited from the speech that you provided today, to take care of our body, to take care of our mind, so many new conceptions. Although we are familiar with the word yoga, so this word yoga, we are very much familiar in India, or the Indian people are familiar, but a proper knowledge or proper training of it. So within a very short time, you have given us such a beautiful speech. So I am very much thankful to you. Also thankful to Dr. Ritu Mishra for his reference of you, that I could organize this program. So it's not a mood or not a position to end this program, but due to limitation of time, we have no way. So thank you again, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks to the team. Thank you very much.
And we hope in the coming future, we shall again organize this kind of program so that it may be beneficial for the participants, for the common people, for the humanity, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
So now I request Mr. Joanto Kolita to carry forward the next part of the program. So it is about the announcement of our upcoming events. So Mr. Joanto Kolita, he will tell about the upcoming events from our platform. Here with Caviar College and Masbat College, we have been organizing jointly several online programs, virtual programs. So as like today, we have other programs also. So now this is the time for announcement. So now over to Joanto Kolita.
Thank you, Mr. Inkunat. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. It is the last. I have an announcement regarding our forthcoming international webinar as well as national webinar also. Day after tomorrow, we have another international webinar on the topic remote sensing and its application in disaster management. So this webinar is jointly organized by Department of Geography, Koirabari College, and Department of Economics, Masbat College, in association with IQAC and Department of Education, Masbat College. So we have another important webinar on the topic India's New Education Policy 2020 on 28 August. So all the participants, we cordially request you to join with us to discuss on these vital topics. So with this, I concluded from my part and request Inkunat to carry forward the next. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joanto Kolita. So gradually we are coming to the ending part of this program. So already you have given information about the upcoming events. So already you have mentioned about the program that will happen day after tomorrow. So again on 28, there will be one program you have mentioned about it, and we are planning to organize another this kind of extraordinary webinar on either 29 August or 30 August. So we shall inform on due time in our groups. So at the end, I again offer my heartiest thanks to all the participants, all the respective participants from all around the world, and all the resource persons and all the dignitaries in the panel. So now we have come to the ending part of this ceremony. So ending part of this webinar. So already we have given the feedback link, and participants, they have submitted their feedback links. So we shall try to give their certificates on due time. And so with this, from for today, on behalf of Caviar College and Masbat College, I, Mr. Inkunat, so I declare that this session is